Today I thought I could talk about, so we're starting to just feel our body settle a little bit. The topic I thought I would pick for today is kind of going along the lines of like attracts like, or like what are the words we are saying to ourselves? And are we aware that our words that we speak to ourselves almost act like an intention for our experience? And the more we are negative, complaining, feeling rather down or toxic about the experience we're having, the more we're going to attract to us, to some degree, people who also have that same level of perception about their life. And the more that we experience things that are maybe hard, or we experience things that are challenging, but we go, this could only get better. And while I feel rather crappy right now, I know this feeling of crappiness is already on the way of being transitioned into something lighter and easier to sit with as I just face this feeling. Because as we feel our feelings, we honor them. And as we honor them, they let go of some of their heaviness. And they remember a little bit more of the honor that lives within them, which another word for honor is love. And it's the magic of alchemy is just the magic of being able to face and feel our experience, no matter what we're experiencing, and saying words to ourselves that are optimistic about ourselves or the future, rather than getting down on ourselves or being hard on ourselves or complaining about life because of what life brings us. And sure, there's going to be times when we are going to need to be a little bit more negative, going to need to complain about our experience. But if we feel like we're negative and complaining about our experience every day, that is then becoming more of our choice to be negative and complaining, rather than actually honoring any type of negativity within you. And the more you choose to be negative, the more you choose to complain, the more negativity and complaining energy or weeds grow within you. That then becomes a filter you see life through, and you suddenly start to see confirmations on why you need to complain or be negative about the life you're living, rather than rejoice or celebrate of the beauty or the happiness or the incredibleness of the life you are. Because even the fact that our heart is in rhythm every beat, that our lungs remember to breathe every beat, that our body is able to digest food and remove the things that we don't need and shoot it out of us as waste, is a miracle in itself. Life is a miracle. Life is an absolute miracle. We are on a rock in the middle of space, hurtling around the sun that's going in a direction. And it's incredible that our planet doesn't crash into other planets, that our planet doesn't crash into the sun or into another solar system. Life is a miracle. Life is literally incredible that we are just able to be alive in a body. And what we say to ourselves is what grows. And you can think about your experience as almost like your choice. Your experience kind of flowers from the words you say to yourself about your experience and the words you say to yourself alone. And the words you say to yourself become the words you say to others. And we are almost like a flower bed. And the more we choose to say, life is amazing, life is beautiful, I'm incredible, the more we are watering those flowers, and the more those flowers grow within us. And the more we say, life sucks, I hate my life, and the more we choose to do that day after day and complain about how life is awful or how life is never going my way, the more the weeds of negativity grow in our flower bed, and the more we become a weed or a negative person than a beautiful flower expressing our love and happiness of life. And it all starts with our intention, with the words we say to ourselves. And we can think about karma as our karma is our choice day after day to either be optimistic, hopeful, and to call out what's amazing within ourselves and what's amazing in life and with others, which will only grow a life of incredible amazingness, will only become a person that is more and more amazing. Or it's our choice to constantly be hard on ourselves and constantly focus on what's wrong with our life, what we don't have that we think we need. And life is far more concerned about who you are as a person than what you have in your life. And oftentimes, if we got everything we dreamed in this moment, it would be a distraction from connecting to yourself deeper. And it's why we might have times in our life where things get stripped away or we have a lot less, because the universe says you're ready to connect with yourself deeper, and the deeper connection you find in yourself is then going to attract friends, partners that will have a deeper connection with themselves as well, which is what leads to the greatest vulnerability and intimacy and love. But we can only do that sometimes in less, and it's why we go through periods of less or not having that much, because there's less distractions in order for you to fully find yourself and connect with yourself deeper, to then attract other people who can do the same. And just because you're connecting with yourself deeper doesn't mean you're necessarily your partner or certain friends are going to change with you. And you might have to let go some of your relationships in order for the people who are connecting with themselves deeper to walk into your life. And we're all going to have to be discerning on who's going to be able to meet us deeper, or who's someone I'm still interested and curious to spend time with and get to know, and who still lights me up with joy to spend time with, and who are the people who are dragging me down, who feel like they're tying chains to me and like stopping me from really becoming the person that I would like to be. And our karma is our words we say to ourselves, and I would also say it's our level of self-care. And the fastest, I said this in the last video, but it's a good point to hit, is the fastest way to become different than the people that hurt us or the people that raised us that we don't really want to be like, or even extended relatives where we go, I want to be as far away from you as a person as I possibly can be. The people who set us example of who we don't want to be like, we can look at the choices they make that aren't acts of self-care, or the choices they make to avoid greater care from themselves, and can we make more choices that are in line with greater self-care, because that is our karma of how long you're going to live, how well you're going to feel in your body, how healthy you'll be, and the choices you make do matter in growing greater well-being, happiness, and joy in your life. Because if your body doesn't feel good, you're not going to feel good. If your body feels starved of well-being because we're going out late and staying up super late, binge watching shows, using substances, and our body feels overworked, exhausted, and is having a miserable time because it's not receiving enough self-care, we are going to become more miserable about that because of that. And the fastest way to become a person of joy or love or well-being, or a very efficient way, is the words we say to ourselves, and also our level of self-care. And if we want to be different than the people in our past, can we look at how they didn't care for themselves, and can we make those choices of greater self-care, whether that's sobriety, being more discerning on who we date, being just exercising better, eating a cleaner diet, spending more time in nature, taking more time to do the things that we're passionate about or make us feel more joyous, whether that's art or yoga or to just making more time for friends or connecting with people outside of the workplace, whatever it is. We can look at our life and go, who do I want to be different from my past, and can I care for myself in ways they did not care for themselves? And as I care for myself deeper, I instantly become a different version than them, and my pain from that person instantly starts to heal because I'm no longer like them. And who we choose to be like by our level of self-care is who we'd attract. And if we can be different from the people that hurt us, the pain they carry that they then threw in our body by the words they said and actions they take suddenly starts to heal just by our willingness to be unlike them. Because if we cultivate the opposite frequency, or the opposite, if they were rather negative and we become someone who's incredibly optimistic, or they rather like overuse substances and we become a person who's incredibly sober, we are now anchoring an opposite frequency of destruction or negativity or toxicity that they were embodying. And so the negativity, toxicity, and destruction they threw in our body by the hurtful things they said to us, by the choices they made that harmed us, starts to heal by the new frequencies of well-being we're embodying just by being willing to care for ourselves deeper. And that's what real karma is I live a life of misery, or I am trapped in my painful past for how little I am willing to be different from the people that hurt me, and how different I'm willing to talk to myself than the people that hurt me. And I live the life of the words I say to myself and the care I give myself. And that is my karma. And you can think, I heard this example and I really liked it the other day, yesterday, of someone teaching about like real karma is like, let's say there's two different people and it's raining outside, and one person goes, it's raining outside, I now have to bring my umbrella, it could make me late for work, the roads could be more slippery, this day's gonna suck, my clothes could get wet. And another person goes, it's raining outside, I've been waiting for rain, what a beautiful day I get to experience rain on. The plants and the trees, they look like they need more rain. Today's going to be awesome. And one person anchored greater negativity and toxicity on a neutral event in their life, and another person anchored greater optimism and joy. And when you anchor greater optimism and joy, just by choosing to call it out, and you don't have to feel it, because what you call out is what grows the feeling. But if you never call it out, you're never going to grow that feeling within you. And so it actually starts with the words. It doesn't start with the feeling itself. And people go like, I have to feel someone is beautiful for me to say that that person's beautiful, or that painting is beautiful, or that my life is beautiful, or I'm beautiful. And that is not true. That the more you just said, I am beautiful, that this painting I'm looking at is beautiful, that these people, my friends, are beautiful, the more you are going to see beauty, because the words you say to yourself is what creates your perceptions, which then becomes your filters in which you see life. And the filters will then focus your attention to everything that is beautiful, if that's what you're calling out more often than not, to reconfirm why life is beautiful. And if you constantly focus on why things are negative, or why you're miserable, or why life is awful, you're going to form filters of awfulness over your eyes that will then confirm why life is awful, and it will reorient your attention and focus to notice why everything is awful rather than why everything is amazing. And it doesn't mean we can't be negative, and it doesn't mean we can't express our negativity and complain, but when we're given neutral events, like a rainy day, like hanging, hanging out with people, whatever, staring at paintings, whatever you want, whatever you're focusing on that isn't really bringing up anything that would be hurtful or harmful for you to actually need to voice this, like I had a shitty experience today, right? It's different if you go, something really happened that was shitty, it made me feel like this, and sharing that with a friend, that's just expressing your authentic experience. But if you're staring at something like a rainy day, or you're staring at something like a painting, it is your choice how you perceive it or what you want to say about it. And what you say about it is then what grows certain lenses or certain perceptions you have that then will orient your focus to notice what you say about things more often. So if you say something is beautiful, you're going to grow a lens of beauty that will focus on the things that are beautiful in your life more often than not and confirm to you why life is beautiful, not why life is a life of misery. And if you focus more often on why life is miserable and why everything is out to get you, you're then going to grow a lens of focus that will then focus on why life is miserable and why everything is out to get you. And our perceptions is what creates our karma, or creates our experiences for reality, and like attracts like. And if you want to anchor, if you want to be someone who attracts greater love, who attracts greater beauty, who attracts greater gratitude, appreciation, connection, vulnerability in your life, be the person who says things are amazing and awesome and beautiful and incredible, and tell people more often that you love them and you're grateful for them. And the more you're going to attract people who are able to love you back, who are going to be grateful for you, the more you're going to attract experiences that you will be grateful for, because like attracts like, and the words we say is what anchors that energy in our energy field that then attracts our experiences. And if we want to do something really simple, just to start it out, you could attend in the morning an intention. I intend to experience today greater happiness, greater joy, greater play, greater peace. And if you, the more often you anchor that just at the start of your day, the more life will reorient your experiences or call forth different versions of characters for you to have those experiences of whatever you anchor in the morning, of what you intend, more often than not. And another way to do this is as you walk down the street, or as you are driving by people, maybe like on slow roads, you could just say under your breath, with every person you pass, may this person be blessed with peace, or whatever you want to anchor, may this person be blessed with greater joy, may this person be blessed with greater happiness. Or if you don't want to bless other people for whatever reason, you can bless yourself and just use other people as a reminder. May I be blessed with greater peace, may I be blessed with greater joy. And the more often we do this, or I even did a practice for a while where when I was waiting for the train, there's like some train stops where cars will drive under the train stop, and with every car that drove under the train stop, I would just put my hand to my heart and say, I love you. And I would send love to the people in those cars, or the people around me on the train stop. I'd put my hand, I would see a person, and under my breath, I would just say, I love you. And I anchored greater love. And the more you anchor something, the more you are watering those flowers of love, of peace, of joy, just by calling it out more often. And the more you'll attract people of love, peace, and joy, and the more you'll be attracted to experiences, attracted to passions that will be things that will deepen greater love, peace, and joy within you, just by your willingness to anchor it as you walk down the street, as you ride the train, as you wait for the train, as you're in the grocery store, as you're watching a baseball game. There's so many different opportunities we have to anchor what we'd like to feel more often. And if we are willing to anchor it, life will give us greater confirmation on why that's a good reason to anchor it when we're anchoring positive experiences. And our willingness to say things are beautiful or amazing, or to send out greater love more often, will become our karma. And our karma is what we say to ourselves and our level of self-care every day. And we're not always going to get self-care perfect, but we just try our best, and we just try a little better every day, and we do slow changes, and we think about what would be the easiest change for me to make, of a way of embodying greater love for myself, greater love for the people around me, or just greater love in my energy field. And can I say the words, can I make the choices that would be a little healthier for me today, as I slowly work to make my life a life of beauty rather than a life of misery. And it starts with the words I say to myself. And the more I harmonize with well-being, the more I'm going to be attracted to choices of well-being, and the less I'll be attracted to things that are toxic or negative, or that are not good for me that I use to numb and check out. And the fastest way to heal any addiction is just to harmonize with greater well-being more often than not, and to look at your life and what are the things that I do that create greater well-being within me, and can I take it a little further? Can I say words that would anchor greater well-being a little bit more? Can I make choices that, like, maybe if I work out for 45 minutes, maybe next week I'm going to work out for an hour, and I anchor just a little bit more well-being week after week, and I slowly become a person that harmonizes with well-being rather than toxicity and negativity, because what we harmonize with ourselves is what we're attracted to. And even if we're like, let's say we're addicted to smoking cigarettes, and after every hit of a cigarette we just said, you are the most beautiful person I have ever seen and I love you, you would be anchoring greater well-being within you after each hit of the cigarette, and eventually you become someone who would only be attracted to things that are loving to yourself and not things that were harmful. And if we bring consciousness to the activities that we do that are unconscious, only more and more consciousness will grow within us that will slowly wake us up out of our unconscious activities. So I hope that helps. Thank you for listening, and I love you all.